Hi everybody, it's Babe Flame here, and welcome back to a new video. Today I want to talk about the problems I have with producing images digitally as opposed to just drawing them on paper, which is known as traditional art in most, art circles. But a little bit to start out about my life right now. I'm kind of just in the middle of studying. When I say study, I meant like one assignment in particular, but another is I'm putting together just sketchy ideas for a photographic piece, and it's gonna be a lot of work in Photoshop, mostly, with a few photographic elements, and that's what's gonna lead me into this next thing. Wacom has this contest every year. It's called Next Level. It looks pretty amazing. You'll go on their website and you'll see like all the past contestants, and as you know, like Wacom is a company that makes tablets for those of people who work in digital space and like using their products. I think they're pretty good company, to say the least. For the tablets I use, I think they're top notch. I just don't like the stand they came with. Like, that shit never stood up properly. Just saying. But yeah, and one of the main prizes for coming, I guess the first place prize is actual money, and also a 24-inch tablet, like Cintiq, which is one I currently use. Mine is 13-inch, and it's basically you draw on the screen, and other ones you'd like the Interwos, you would draw basically on a pad, and you'd see your cursor move on the screen. But yeah, I'd like to talk a bit about issues. I think most of my problems with digital come from the way I use these technologies. So the one issue I think that really brings the point home that why I don't like producing work in Photoshop on the tablet is the effect of, there's this thing called the parallax effect, and it's where the pen, you'll see a dot on the screen where your cursor is, and as you float the pen over and use it like a normal pen, draw lines and stuff, you'll notice it's in a different place to where you're pointing, and that is an issue that some alternative companies are starting to produce, say Huion. They have a bigger screen now, and apparently I think it has something, I think it comes down to 8,000 points of pressure on the Huion. It's a 24-inch, but the current Wacom I have, which is Cintiq, it has 2,000 levels of pressure. Don't get me wrong, it's good hardware for what it does. It was a bit tricky to set up at first, but I got the hang of it. And also, one thing I have to say about another critique about Wacom is sometimes their cables can be a bit fragile, and just the main port itself will sometimes get knocked. Luckily, I placed it on a flat surface for now, but I don't know how long I've had this particular brand. I'd say 2013, but honestly I don't remember. But like I said, it does a good job. I'd say what I like, I'd say I used it more as an editing tool than anything. I like what it can do. There's some artists who use a liquify tool to lengthen or exaggerate their line work. or like try out different gradients like I am doing at the moment with overlays. But as for the drawing aspect, you compared to digital, right? Like, you may be a seasoned artist who knows how to draw in pencil, like in a traditional sense, like you know your medium, you know what a painting is, and what materials to use. Same with like drawing in charcoal. You know the properties and you know the feel. Like, you intuitively know the feeling of what you're using, and you've come to like know it over the years. But if you're like, say, if you've only been drawing on Interworks, that's fine. You know, if you've grown up with digital, then that's totally awesome. You know, I'm fine with that. It's just, in my experience, I've mainly been mostly a sketchbook kind of artist, and I don't know, it's where I've been comfortable. It's not really a good idea to be comfortable as an artist. Like, pro tip, I've heard. But in saying that, one of the things, there's a lot of, you know your like medium well from what you use normally, but also there's these hundreds of brushes you can choose from, or like on Photoshop in particular, I use Carl T-Worster brush sets like the Mega Pack, and they're all, a lot of them are identical but with slight variations, and I appreciate them, but if you understand what you want out of it, it's fine. I guess professional artists they often know what they want out of a certain medium. And another thing, right? If you do most art primarily digital, I think you might have an issue with file storage. I'm particularly lazy when it comes to like sorting all my files, and sometimes I've had like work in the past that just I can't, like, I've reduced it down to a specific pixel ratio, and I can't really salvage it, or like, you know, worse things happen. And so if I did something like traditional, like a comic page for example, I'd have the originals for like archiving, and I can put that away somewhere like in a folder, or just, yeah, I'd still have that original. But if I wanted to do colors, I'd mainly just do it in digital. So those are my like main issues, is like, I think it's the overabundance of choice, and kind of getting lost. It's good to experiment, but I'm just saying, like, don't get lost. Don't get to that point where you kind of like use whatever and have no real like voice, because that's in reality is what's gonna get you forward in a lot of industries, is having a voice. If you keep trying and like trudging on, doing different things, try to please different people, which is one motivation. But I just want to leave you saying that I think digital is good. I think for the most part I like just drawing in my sketchbook, and I hope I've been really clear about this. So thanks for listening, and yeah, this is just me drawing. The video in question is of Grimes and Elon Musk, only I've made it so that it's elongated muskrat, as he's most commonly known. He isn't. Yeah, I just thought it'd be a nice joke picture. And yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time. Cheers.